Sleep. Sleep's been something I always struggle with. I can go through fits of like a month, weeks where I don't really sleep that well. But I've been discovering through trial and error quite a few things that have worked really well for me. So I'm going to tell you like 10 things that work for me and help me get a good night's sleep. So, number one, I eat an apple and some pumpkin seeds about 3 hours before bed. This is to get your glycemic index up, and you want to do this a few hours before bedtime because if you go to sleep right after you eat apples or pumpkin seeds, your blood sugar is going to be a lot higher and you're going to have a hard time falling asleep right away. Then I have a stress relieving tea. Good tea, I think, for sleeping is chamomile tea. It's very nice tasting, very soothing, and it's a great way to relax. After my tea, I'll have this pill called Brain Calm. It helps to naturally reduce stress in the body. Again, it's a really great way to promote relaxation, so when you go to bed, you fall asleep really quickly. And my naturopath recommended it. It's all natural ingredients. I will share a link in the description so you can go check it out. This next one is hard for me at least, but it's not that difficult. It just takes a little bit of willpower. But before bed, you shouldn't be looking at any screens because of the blue light. It actually stimulates us and helps keep us awake and doesn't promote a good night's sleep. So TV, computer screens, smartphones, avoid. Up to an hour before bed is really ideal, I find. I get the best sleep when I don't do that for an hour before bedtime. But even if you can do 30 minutes, it's just a good way to start your body's process of falling asleep. Another thing I'm pretty guilty of doing, but I don't think is good for getting a good night's sleep, is reading nonfiction. So nonfiction is amazing. I love it. I consume quite a bit of it every month. But it often leads you to thinking really hard and intensely about the subject matter. At least for me it does. So I try to make a point to only read fiction before going to bed. That way it's something light, fun, and you're not really thinking too hard about it. I mean, some fiction can be intense, but I find most of the fiction I read is kind of lighthearted and enjoyable. I also do sometimes when I'm struggling to fall asleep this 4-7-8 breathing. So that's when, and I think I mentioned this in an earlier video, but when you breathe in for 4 counts, hold it for 7 counts, and then exhale for 8 counts. This actually, I believe, is scientifically proven, and this should be fact checked, but it actually, again, naturally de-stresses the body. And so if you're having trouble sleeping, do a few rounds of that before bed, and it should help you calm down. I put a fan on before going to bed. And it used to actually bother me, but now I find I sleep better with a little bit of white noise. So I just have a little fan. I don't even point it at me. Maybe in the summertime I will. But it just creates a little bit of background noise that helps me drown out everything else. And yeah, it seems to work pretty well. One of the most important things for me is making my room completely black at night. I need it to be as dark as possible in there because any natural light or artificial light that gets into my room really affects my quality of sleep. So I am invested in some really heavy curtains from IKEA, and invested is intense word. They're not that expensive, but they keep the light out perfectly. And then I also wear an eye mask that keeps out all the light, and the one that I use actually also goes over your ears, so it helps block out sound too. And that is majorly important for getting a good night's sleep. I think most people sleep better when the room is as dark as possible, but for me that's absolutely essential. And then finally, worries. Worries are something we all have. We all got our battles that we're fighting on a day-to-day basis. But the thing is, you can't solve them when it's the end of the day and you're exhausted. So one thing that's really effective for getting those worries off your brain is write them in a journal, write down what's bothering you, and tomorrow's another day. So those are my things that I do to help get a good night's sleep. Everyone obviously has a different routine, but try some of those things out, see if they help you, and let me know.